Friends, sometimes you can be targeted for violence for no discernible reason that anyone can state. Want to take your knowledge beyond the narrated videos? Join us on Active Self-Protection Extra and subscribe for multiple videos every week to help you get better in your defensive skills. Hi everyone, this is John with today's Active Self-Protection lesson out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Here we're going to see a librarian outside a public library who is assaulted for what the perp says is no reason that he can explain. And we're going to learn some significant lessons here about the rules of stupid and why we follow them. Number two, we're going to work against multiple attackers here and think about the principles of protecting ourselves when the odds are stacked against us. News story says these guys asked the librarian for a cigarette as a pretext to attack him, and the action picks up. The camera was just showing right as they started that and tackled him. And so you're going to see them here tackle this guy from the pretext of asking him for a cigarette, knock him over there, and now all three of them are just going to go after him. They've got him down, and he is trying to kind of protect his head and neck here. And this is the actual evil that does exist in our world, friends, and that's our first lesson here, as they just absolutely wail a tune on him. And if you go read the news story, one of these perps that they sentenced to 6 years for felonious assault, when they asked him why he did it, he said, I just can't explain. I don't know why we did it. Now, the news story says they were drunk and they were, challenging each other and this and that. But of course, none of that validates what they're doing here, as they just beat this man senseless and take what? I think they took his cell phone. So the other guy got 7 years for robbing him of his cell phone right there. And now our poor battered victim has to try to pick himself up and get himself to safety after closing the library that night. Let's go back and think about some lessons out of this one. First of all, we do see fairly commonly the ruse of, hey man, can I use your phone? Or hey man, can I use, can I bum a cigarette or something, is used for a pretext many times. And so managing unknown contacts, as Craig Douglas likes to put it, then what you got to do is you got to recognize, hey, I got to keep some distance from these guys. I don't have anything for you. So take a class on managing unknown contacts. Learn how to use your verbal judo and your space to keep these guys off you. That's really the only way to win this. Once the attack starts, it's going to be very difficult. But notice now that our victim is on his back. And once you get on your back, you got to know how to turtle up. You got to know how to protect yourself, fight from your back, and not just take a beating, but definitely learn how to protect your head and your neck and weather the storm. So we see him here. He gets some good protection there and has covered over his head and neck and his vitals. Because, I mean, if these guys are going to punch you, you'd far rather take it in the guts or in the ribs or the legs than you would of your head and your neck, because that's going to knock you out in a hurry. And if you've got emotional fitness, you can weather the storm to launch a counterattack. Now, once he's on his back here, you notice he's got actually a pretty good vertical shield going there, a pretty good turtle. And this is why I recommend, boy, you got to carry your firearm on you if at all possible. Is this a deadly threat? 3 guys beating you while you're on the ground? 100%. And if you had a firearm, now's the time to get it. Another reason here that I like carrying appendix personally, because you could get to a gun from here, whereas if it was on your, around the strong side or weak side, would have been very difficult. Would have been hard as heck anyways. Notice as he's getting up here, this is a very common one, that he leaves his head uncovered because he's trying to get up and balance himself. You got to learn how to get up from a down position, and you learn that stuff on the mat. With a qualified instructor, it's not difficult, but you got to learn how to do it without exposing yourself. And that's what exposes him to the punches that really do him in here. Finally, friends, this is true evil. I mean, I have absolutely nothing to say here of redemption for these guys. This is just dag nasty evil. There's no cultural conditioning or anything that could possibly give these guys reason to attack this man, other than the fact that they're evil and they want to do evil to someone. And you have to be ready to protect yourself and your loved ones from this kind of evil, drunken, stupor, friendship, or whatever, because the police can't possibly protect you. Only you are coming to aid yourself, which is why you have to be ready to cover your asp.